Have you ever been around someone who got defensive with you? Before you even did anything. You weren't attacking them. You weren't arguing. You weren't trying to prove anything. And still, their energy changed. Their tone sharpened. They started over-explaining. They got weirdly cold. Or they acted like you were judging them when you were just there. If you know what I'm talking about, let me ask you this early, because I think this is the kind of question that gets people talking. What's the first sign someone gets defensive around you? Their tone, their body language, the way they start explaining themselves, or the way they suddenly act different in front of other people, because most people have seen this. And it's confusing when it happens. You start thinking, did I say something wrong? Was I too quiet? Did I come off too serious? Why are they reacting like I challenged them when I didn't? That's what we're talking about in this video. Why your energy makes insecure people defensive. Not because you're always doing something dramatic. Not because you're trying to intimidate anyone. Not because you think you're better than people. Usually it's deeper than that. Usually it has more to do with what your presence brings up in them than what you actually said. And that's where the Carl Jung angle comes in. Jung understood something most people spend years missing. People do not just react to reality. They react to what reality stirs up inside them. Their insecurity, their shame, their comparison, their hidden envy, their false self, their shadow. So sometimes when someone gets defensive around you, it's not because you attacked them, it's because your energy quietly touched something in them they were hoping to keep buried. That's the real conversation. And I want to go straight into it. Here are 7 reasons your energy makes insecure people defensive. 1. Your energy makes them feel seen more than they want to be seen. This is probably the biggest one. A lot of insecure people are fine around surface-level attention. They're fine being looked at, fine being talked to, fine being around people who only engage with the social version of them. But when they feel like somebody is actually noticing more than they say out loud, they tense up. Not because you expose them, because they feel exposed. That's a big difference. Sometimes it's your silence, sometimes it's the way you listen. Sometimes it's the fact that you're not performing constantly. Sometimes it's the way you don't rush to fill space. That alone can make certain people uncomfortable. Why? Because they start feeling too visible. Jung would call this tension between the persona and the shadow. The persona is the version of themselves they want people to receive. The confident version, the polished version, the chill version, the harmless version, the version that seems in control. The shadow is everything sitting underneath that: insecurity, comparison, envy, fear, neediness, dishonesty, shame. And if your energy makes them feel like the persona is not fully working, they get defensive fast. Not always with words, sometimes with attitude, sometimes with distance, sometimes with a weird sharpness in their tone. That's why you can be completely calm and still make someone act like they're under attack. You're not attacking them. They just feel too seen to stay comfortable. And insecure people often mistake being seen for being threatened. 2. Your calmness makes their inner chaos louder. Some people don't know what to do around calm energy. You would think calm would relax everybody, but it doesn't. For secure people, calm feels safe. For insecure people, calm can feel confronting. Because if somebody is internally noisy, anxious, performative, reactive, scattered, your steadiness becomes contrast, and contrast is uncomfortable. It makes their own state more obvious. Their overthinking feels louder. Their emotional chaos feels less hidden. Their need to control the moment becomes more visible to them. That's why some people start talking too much around calm people, or they get defensive out of nowhere, or they begin explaining things nobody asked them to explain. Jung understood that unconscious material becomes more noticeable in the presence of consciousness, And that's exactly what happens here. Your grounded energy doesn't create their insecurity. It just removes some of the distractions they usually use to avoid it. That's why your calm can feel like pressure without you saying a word. You're not making them feel small on purpose. They're just becoming more aware of how unstable they feel next to someone who seems more internally settled. And instead of dealing with that honestly, they defend themselves against the feeling. That's why the reaction can seem disproportionate, because they're not only responding to you, they're responding to the contrast between you and what's happening inside them. 3. Your self-respect blocks the access points they usually rely on. A lot of insecure people feel safest around people they can easily influence, people who over-explain, people who need constant approval, people who fold under guilt, people who get flustered when misunderstood, people who are always trying to keep the peace. So when they meet someone whose energy says, "I know who I am," or "I'm not going to over-negotiate my reality," or "I'm not available for every emotional game," they get defensive, because now the usual access points aren't there. They can't pull easy reassurance out of you. They can't steer the conversation the way they're used to. They can't create confusion and count on you to overcorrect. Jung might say that people who lack inner authority often try to create authority outside themselves. Not always aggressively, sometimes quietly, through tone, through guilt, through subtle pressure, through making other people emotionally overfunction. So if your energy makes it clear that you are not easy to move, insecure people feel that as resistance, even if you are being respectful, even if you are barely speaking. That's why self-respect alone can make certain people defensive. Not because self-respect is rude, because it interrupts their usual way of feeling secure around others. Now they actually have to meet you honestly, and a lot of insecure people are less comfortable with honesty than they are with emotional control. 4. Your energy quietly disrupts the role they expected you to play. This happens all the time and most people don't notice it. People meet you and unconsciously assign you a role. Maybe they assume you'll be the agreeable one, the needy one, the less confident one, the easier one to manage, the one who wants approval, the one who will explain more, chase more, soften more. Then you don't play that role. You stay composed. You don't overreact. You don't overperform warmth. You don't seem desperate to be chosen. You don't collapse just because they get distant. That creates immediate discomfort, because now the emotional script they had in mind is broken. Jung would probably connect this to unconscious relationship structures. People don't just relate to who you are. They relate to the role they think you're going to occupy in their world. When your energy quietly says, "No, I'm not doing that," it destabilizes them. Now they don't know where they stand. Now they don't know how to place you. Now they can't settle into the position they expected to have over you. And insecure people often feel threatened when they cannot predict the role they're going to get to play. That's why some people become defensive, not because you were difficult, but because you were different from what their insecurity was prepared to handle. 5. Your growth activates their comparison wound. This one is especially true with people who knew an older version of you. Sometimes what makes insecure people defensive is not your personality, it's your evolution. You got calmer, clearer, healthier, more disciplined, more grounded, more selective, less needy, less available for confusion. And now certain people don't know how to be normal around you anymore, because your growth created contrast, and contrast activates comparison. Now, they're not just seeing you, they're seeing themselves next to the version of you they used to feel more comfortable around. That can trigger a lot. Jung would say that what we react to in others often points to what remains unresolved in us. So if your growth is exposing their stagnation, they may not know how to stay open around you. They may start getting defensive about little things, justifying themselves more, acting strangely competitive, getting irritated by your choices, even when your choices don't involve them. That's not random. That's comparison looking for protection. Because if they fully let your growth be what it is, they may have to face where they have remained the same. And not everybody is ready for that. So defense becomes easier than reflection. That's why people who once felt easy around you can suddenly feel strange after you've changed in healthy ways. Your growth is asking a question they don't want to answer. 6. Your authenticity makes their performance feel heavier. This is one of the quieter reasons, but once you see it, it's obvious. Some people build their whole way of relating around performance. They know how to act right, say the right thing, mirror the room, fit in, manage impressions. Then they meet someone whose energy feels more real. Not louder, not more dramatic, just more real. Someone whose words and presence match. Someone who doesn't seem to be trying so hard. Someone who doesn't need every room to approve of them. That can make insecure people very defensive. Why? Because authenticity creates pressure. It exposes the effort behind performance. Jung believed that the farther people get from their real self, the more threatened they can feel by those moving closer to theirs. That's exactly what happens here. Your energy doesn't have to condemn them. It doesn't have to call them fake. Your coherence alone is enough to make their fragmentation feel heavier. And if they have not made peace with how much of themselves they perform, they often react with subtle defense. They may become sarcastic, a little colder, a little more dismissive, a little more eager to humble you, not because you attacked them, because your authenticity made their act harder to enjoy. That's why being real often unsettles people who survive through image management. Not because realness is aggressive, because it quietly exposes how exhausting falsehood really is. 7. Your energy threatens the false sense of superiority they use to feel safe. This is probably the bluntest reason. Some insecure people only feel okay when they feel slightly above others. A little more in control, a little more admired, a little more desired, a little more secure, a little more powerful. That quiet superiority becomes their emotional safety net. So when you show up with strong energy, calm, self-respect, confidence, presence, clarity, it disrupts that safety. Now they can't automatically place themselves above you. Now they can't relax into the same silent hierarchy. Now your presence is challenging the little ladder their ego was standing on, and that's when defensiveness comes in. They may start correcting you unnecessarily, competing with you subtly, getting weirdly dry, trying to humble you, acting like they're unaffected while clearly reacting. Jung would likely say that the ego built on comparison is very fragile. It doesn't know how to feel solid without contrast. So if your energy removes easy contrast, if you no longer look easily influenceable, easily diminished, easily read, easily outperformed, insecure people can start defending themselves against the discomfort. That's why some people act most uncomfortable around those who are not trying to dominate anything at all. Your presence quietly removed the emotional position they needed to feel secure, and now their insecurity has no place to hide but defense. What does this really mean? Now this part matters, because the point here is not to make you arrogant, not to have you walking around thinking everybody is secretly intimidated by your energy. That becomes its own trap. The real point is clarity. Sometimes people really do get defensive around you for reasons that are more about their internal world than your behavior. And if you don't understand that, you'll start shrinking yourself unnecessarily. You'll over-explain, over-soften, over-adjust. Try to become easier to digest for people who are not reacting to your surface in the first place. Jung wouldn't want that. He'd want consciousness. The kind of consciousness that lets you say, this reaction may not be about me in the way it looks. This tension may be about what my presence is stirring up. I do not need to abandon myself every time somebody gets uncomfortable. That's the healthier response. Not ego, not self-inflation, just clear-eyed self-awareness. Because once you understand how insecure people operate, you stop personalizing every sharp tone, every weird shift, every unnecessary defense. Sometimes people are not protecting themselves from your behavior. They are protecting themselves from their own feelings in your presence, and that is a very different thing. So why does your energy make insecure people defensive? Usually for reasons like these: because your energy makes them feel too seen, because your calm makes their chaos louder, because your self-respect blocks their usual access points, because you refuse the role they expected you to play, because your growth activates comparison, because your authenticity makes their performance feel heavier, and because your presence threatens the fragile superiority they use to feel safe. That's the deeper truth. A lot of defensive behavior is not really about the surface moment. It's about what your presence awakens in people who have not made peace with themselves. And once you understand that, you stop rushing to make yourself smaller every time someone reacts strangely to your energy. You stop assuming every shift in tone means you did something wrong. Sometimes it just means your presence is harder for certain people to stand near than they want to admit. And before I leave you, I want to bring that question back one more time, because I think this one could create a very honest comment section. What's the first sign someone gets defensive around you? Their tone, their body language, the way they over-explain, or how they act differently once other people are around? That answer says a lot. Probably more than people realize.